Then after you know those, right, then you need to know where these pollutants come from. So first one is your carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, and then it's poisonous. Have you heard of something called carbon monoxide poisoning?
No.
No. Okay. Have you come across situations if you watch TV that someone sits in the car and then they fall asleep in the car with the aircon on and all the windows are closed? Then after that, the person dies the next day and gets discovered in the car. Have you seen anything that
Yeah.
kind of story? That kind of story. Okay.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that kind of story. So that person, right, is most likely to have died from something called carbon monoxide poisoning. Yes. So what carbon monoxide does, you can see later because I'll explain later. So where do you get carbon monoxide? You get carbon monoxide from incomplete combustion of carbon containing substances, basically fuel. So in cars, that means the petrol, because there's incomplete combustion in the petrol. So part of the carbon monoxide goes into the car and gets trapped inside the car. So if during this process, right, there is very, very little oxygen available, right, combustion will cause all this black stuff called soot. Then methane is another one which is also colorless and it's odorless and it's flammable. Flammable means it catches fire very easily, so it burns. If it burns, then it can be used as a fuel. Then it's commonly found in natural gas as well. Important fact for organic chem, they sometimes will ask about this one line. I had students who have fallen prey for this.
Where methane found?
Methane can be found in natural gas, or
Then
sometimes
they will ask where is methane found.
The question that I saw that was asked quite a few times was, so they asked what is the main constituent compound in natural gas?
Methane.
Yeah. So then they every time ask in the MCQ question, they will ask what is the main constituent of the natural gas. Then after that, then they put 4 options. Then the answer is methane. And this answer is very difficult to find. It's like one tiny liner inside the notes or one tiny line inside the textbook. So it is very easily missed. Like very convenient to miss it and you didn't realize it's there. So where can you find methane, or what are the sources of methane? Okay, so methane is formed when there's decay of plant and animal matter. And then if rubbish and trash decompose and degrade in landfills, you also get methane.
Means the poop from animals contains methane.
The poop if is anything decaying, there will be some methane.
Means the animal dying, there's some methane.
Yeah, animal die also got some methane. And cow, they also produce methane when they have their digestion process.
Means humans also produce methane.
Not as much as cows. So and it's I don't know, some of my students find that it's funny that cows produce methane, and some of them even suggested, like, say, collecting all the methane from cows and then use that as fuel. But they were only joking lah. So I don't know if there's anyone who really collect methane from cows and make it into some fuel. Then you have another gas called sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is a colorless and non-flammable gas, but it has a smell. It's not odorless. It has a smell, so it's quite characteristic, and it can be quite irritating, that smell. Yeah, which is why I put that image down there. There are some other gases that are also stinky. So where do you get sulfur dioxide? It's from volcanic eruption. You get them from volcanic eruption. You also get them from fossil fuels. So if you combust, you burn fossil fuels, you get sulfur dioxide. And why burning fossil fuels will give you sulfur dioxide is because your fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum contain some sulfur. So once you burn it, the sulfur will react with oxygen and become sulfur dioxide. Then the oxides of nitrogen. So you have 2 oxides of nitrogen. One is nitrogen monoxide and the other one is nitrogen dioxide. So nitrogen monoxide, which is the colorless gas, right, is colorless and odorless, no smell. Then whereas you have a second one, nitrogen dioxide, which is the one in the picture. Yeah. So the one in the picture is nitrogen dioxide, and then it's pungent, so it stinks, and then it's non-flammable. So where you get nitrogen, where you get oxides of nitrogen is via lightning activity when there's thunderstorm, and then in internal combustion engines. So in these two situations, lightning and internal combustion energy engines, right? The temperature in that situation is very high. So when the temperature is very high, right, the oxygen and nitrogen will react with each other. So you get oxides of nitrogen. So it's like this. If lightning zaps oxygen and nitrogen, you'll get oxides of nitrogen. Then unburned hydrocarbons are part of your crude oil or anything related to crude oil, petroleum, all those organic chem fuels. So unburned hydrocarbon means those that is left over from your fuel or those fuel that has vaporized at room temperature. So they are vapor. So you can find them in cars. So you can find them in cars, if you can find them in that means in not burning, yeah, more like you get them from the unburned fuel. That means you can find them in cars that burn petrol, cars that burn diesel. So those fuels don't get burned, they vaporized, and then they become unburned hydrocarbon. And these unburned hydrocarbons will then go to the atmosphere. So they just go to the air surrounding you. And then the last one is ozone. This ozone is not the ozone layer, number one thing. Then if you have gone to laundromats or you have air sterilizers at home, the machines or the washing machine may use ozone as a disinfectant because ozone can kill germs, can kill bacteria. Then ozone, and you see, you have two containers containing ozone in water. The other one has no ozone. The perfectly colorless solution is 0 parts per million ozone. That means there's no ozone here, no ozone. Then the other one has ozone. So the one that has ozone, you see, is bluish in color, and it also stings up. So when you get ozone is when oxides of nitrogen react with unburned hydrocarbon in the presence of sunlight. So it's a mix of everything. So it's a mix of your two pollutants and you get a third pollutant.